Welcome, everyone, to the 2021 Spring District Council meeting. It's my pleasure to introduce our District 4 Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Kalidas Turolil.
I'm advancing to the.
Good morning, everyone. This 2021 spring meeting of the District 4 Council will now come to order. Good morning, members of the District Council, and welcome. In accordance with the Toastmasters international policies and procedures, the District 4 Council meets twice a year. In the fall, we must meet virtually. In the spring, we typically meet in person at the annual District Council to conduct district business and ratify actions taken by the District Executive Committee. Due to the ongoing restrictions related to COVID-19, we are meeting virtually today in accordance with Toastmasters International guidelines. Among other business, the District Council will elect new district officers for the 2021-2022 Toastmasters year and will approve the alignment of clubs among divisions and areas in order to comply with the Toastmasters guidelines for district organization. The meeting packet, which includes the agenda and the documents we will be voting on, was shared on the District 4 site and was provided as a link in the email all of you received last night. Please open this file now to reference during the meeting. Our tech chair for this meeting will be Jacob Alfaro. To begin, Jacob will review the technical guidelines for today's meeting, including discussion and voting procedures. Jacob.
Thank you, Kalidas. Audio-visual. Everyone will remain muted unless recognized by the chair to speak. Please do not turn on your video unless requested by the chair. To save time, video will not be turned on for participants during discussions and questions. Display name, rename yourself as follows: first name dash abbreviated role. Example, PRES, President, VPE, A2 Director, Div A Director. When participating in discussions, chat, please only use the chat feature if you need to contact a co-host directly. If you want to speak, contact meeting chair Kalidas Turolil to be recognized. Include the name of your club and a brief description of the motion, question, or comment. When discussing motions, we will alternate between comments for or against. At the end of the meeting, we will open up chat for everyone again. We recommend viewing this meeting in gallery view and not speaker view. To switch to gallery view, click the little dot X grid icon in the upper right corner of your screen to show only speakers on your screen. Next to your video icon on the bottom bar on a laptop or a desktop, or a top bar on an iPad, click the little caret, that little upside down triangle. Click video settings, click on the check box next to hide non-video participants. Now voting via email. If you are a club president or a VPE or a member of a district executive committee, and you pre-registered by yesterday at 6 p.m. on Eventbrite for this meeting, you should have received 4 emails this morning with links to vote. They were sent from District 4 Toastmasters via Election Buddy to the email address you used to register for this meeting. Please check your spam or promotions tab if you cannot find them. If you did not receive them, please send an email to parley@d4tm.org immediately. Right now, right now. That's PARLI at d4tm.org. Remember, as per election rules, you must have pre-registered by 6 p.m. yesterday in order to count for quorum and receive your ballots. You will only be allowed to use each ballot once, so please vote carefully when it is time to vote. District Director Kalidas will call for the vote and you can vote during that time. We will pause the meeting while votes are tabulated and will announce the results of each vote before moving on. Voting via Zoom. We are using the Election Buddy ballot for contested elections and items that require secret ballots. For each topic, we will use the voting feature in Zoom. To access these features, click the reactions icon at the bottom bar of your Zoom window. This is your control bar. A menu of icons will pop up, including buttons for yes and no. Please only vote when instructed and do so, and we will keep a record of the final tally before clearing the votes and moving on to the next order of business. During the district leader election process, please do not vote for positions until you are directed to do so by our district director, Cletus Truro. As a recap, if you have any technical issues whatsoever in Zoom during the meeting, you can reach out to me via private chat, Jacob Alfaro, E1 Director. And if you have any issues with your ballots, please reach out to Parley at d4tm.org. Now, please welcome back our District 4 Director, Kalidas Trullo.
Thank you, Jacob. It's my pleasure to introduce the rest of the team supporting this meeting today, including District 4 Administrative Manager, Jing Thompson, documenting the meeting, and our District 4 Parliamentarian, Aubrey Carrier, ensuring that we have an orderly meeting using parliamentary procedure. To read the district mission, please welcome District 4 Administrative Manager, Jing Thompson. And I strongly encourage all of you to join Jing Thompson reading the mission, because this is our mission. Jing, over to you.
Thank you. We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. Mr. District Director.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. Our district mission, along with our core values of respect, integrity, service, and excellence, guides us through the year when leading our district to support our clubs and members, including the work that we do during this district council meeting. Next slide, please. Jacob, thank you. Next, we will determine if we have a quorum, which is the necessary number of votes to conduct business. You may fill in the numbers for the determination of quorum on page 2 of the link of document with the documents that was shared with you. This handout can also be found at d4tm.org/business. The chair now recognizes our credentials chair, past district director, distinguished Toastmaster, Noami Gonzalez, for the credentials report. Naomi.
Thank you, Mr. District Director. As per Toastmasters International policy regarding virtual meetings, all voting members must pre-register for the virtual meeting in order to vote, and no proxies are allowed. As of the deadline, which was yesterday at 6 p.m., Friday, May 14th, we had, I was going to ask for a drum roll, but there it is. What we have currently is 117 clubs in good standing, which yields 234 club votes. The quorum required to be able to vote to be able to conduct business is 78. The actual number of votes registered from our club officers was 131. Yay for members who registered as well was 33. So we have a total number of council members who registered and ready to vote of 164. Mr. District Director, I am happy to announce that with 131 club votes, we have quorum today. And I also would like to thank the other members of the credentials team, past District Director, past International Director, and past District Governor Ken Colley and Terry Joyce, all of them DTMs. Thank you all for your service in the credentials team. Back to you, Mr. District Director.
Thank you, Naomi, and to all our voting delegates for joining us today and helping us achieve quorum. Next, the district parliamentarian, past district director, distinguished Toastmaster, Aubrey Carrier, will summarize the proposed meeting rules as shown on page 3 of the meeting handout. The rules have also been posted on d4tm.org/business since the 1st of April this year. Aubrey?
Fellow Toastmasters, as prescribed by Toastmasters International, District 4 conducts its business using Robert's Rules of Order. The use of parliamentary procedure comes down to 3 things. First of all, we consider one item of business at a time. Secondly, the majority rules. And third, the majority has the right to be heard. You can find a summary of the rules listed on page 3 of your handout. Any new motions to come before this council must have been submitted to parley@d4tm.org 3 weeks prior to this business meeting. That was 5:00 p.m. on Saturday, April 24th. Debate on any item of business will be limited to no more than 10 minutes. The chair may extend the time to ensure fairness and completeness. In a virtual meeting, a member must type in the chat if they wish to be recognized using the directions issued by our tech chair, Jacob Alfaro, and then the chair will invite you to speak. During discussion, the maker of the motion will be given the opportunity to speak first. All speakers will be limited to 1 minute each time they have the floor. No member who has already spoken once on an issue will be allowed to speak a second time until all who wish to speak have spoken a first time. You must state the name of your club or the area or division you are representing when you indicate in the chat that you want to speak on an issue. And you should already be renamed here in Zoom to show your position. If you haven't done it, please take a moment to do it now. As a reminder, pre-registration gave you credentials. Only district council members who pre-registered may participate in this meeting. That means club presidents, vice presidents of education, and voting members of the district executive council. Participation includes voting, asking questions, participating in discussion, or making motions. Again, before addressing the assembly, please wait to be recognized by our district director, Kalidas. You may type your name and into the chat box to it be addressed. Please remember to state your name and the club or area or division you're representing so that can be recorded into the minutes. All that said, let's have a great meeting. Back to you, Mr. District Director.
Thank you, Aubrey. Without objection, the meeting rules will be adopted as written on page 3 of the meeting handout. Are there any questions or discussion? Please type your club name and question or comment in the chat and wait to be recognized by the chair. Seeing no objections or comments, the meeting rules are adopted. The full agenda, the next order of business rather, is to adopt the agenda. The full agenda has been posted on d4tm.org for the last 2 weeks. Without objection, the agenda will be adopted as shown on page 1 of the meeting handout. Are there any questions or discussion? Please type your club name and question or comment into the chat and wait to be recognized by the chair. Seeing no objections or comments in the chat window, the agenda is adopted. The next order of business in today's meeting is the report of the approval of the minutes of virtual district council meeting of September 16th, 2020, which appears on pages 4 to 5 in the meeting packet. The chair recognizes committee chair, distinguished Toastmaster, past district governor, and past regional advisor, Joe Mackley.
Thank you, Mr. District Director, voting members of the District Council, and other interested parties who got up early enough to attend this meeting. The minutes of the fall business meeting that was held on September 16th, 2020 were reviewed by the committee of 3 District 4 members: Catherine Pratt, past District Director, Katrina Myers, past Division Director, and me. With one exception, they were deemed to be an accurate description of the business that transpired at that meeting. The one exception was that Kevin Schultz's name was not listed in the minutes as part of the audit committee. His name was added. My sincere thanks go to both distinguished Toastmasters Catherine Pratt and Katrina Myers, who took time to review the minutes. This concludes the report of the Minutes Review Committee. Mr. District Director.
Thank you, Joe. Because the meeting minutes were approved by the committee, there is no requirement for council approval at this meeting. The meeting minutes will be filed by our district administrative manager, Jing Thompson. The chair appoints distinguished Toastmaster, past district governor, and past international director, Ken Colley, to chair a committee of at least 3 members to review the minutes from today's district council meeting. The next order of business is the finance manager's report. This report can be found on pages 6 and 7 of your handout. It will be presented by our district finance manager, Advanced Communicator Gold, Advanced Leader Bronze, Pamela Lee. Upon completion of her report, please address any questions you have through me as the chair. Over to you, Pam.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. And I'm going to apologize for the birds in the background. They're very enthusiastic about financial matters. So the slide, which might be coming up anytime now, will show that the trends that we have seen in the past continue, i.e. membership is still running ahead of the expected numbers that we had when the budget was being put together, which is great news. We still continue to see that because of COVID-19, costs have continued to be much lower than what was budgeted. Obvious places there are travel and food expense line items, since nobody's traveling around and we have not had in-person meetings. Offsetting these savings are slightly higher postage and shipping costs because again, items have needed to be shipped over to people rather than being handed to them in person, particularly for the contest. And that's it for today's update. Back to you.
Thank you, Pam. Are there any questions for our finance manager, Pamela Lee? If you do, please type your club name and question or comment in the chat and wait to be recognized. Seeing no questions, we will move on to the next part of the meeting. The next order of business is the mid-year audit committee report. This report can be found on pages 8 to 9 in your handout. The District 4 mid-year financial audit has already been filed and accepted by Toastmasters International headquarters, as per the rules of Toastmasters International. If you have any questions or comments, please hold them until after the committee chair has completed the presentation and address any questions to me as the chair. Please welcome Audit Committee Chair, Distinguished Toastmaster, Carsten Mansk.
Good morning, everyone. I'm giving a short update on the audit, on the mid-year audit. The audit team performed the mid-year audit on February 6th. Not right now, can you please go? Sorry. So any observations? All the documentation and supporting documents were organized and well organized and complete. Pamela, the district finance manager, was answering any questions and was therefore making sure there was a smooth execution of the finance audit. Recommendations that were made were not really significant because everything was complete. However, we were like trying to find out. We were trying to find out how we can organize it better. For example, files are not stacked like in a physical manner, and so we said maybe we can introduce some naming guidelines. This way, the files can be found easier. But overall, we were really efficient and we were able to finish the audit within 1 hour. Therefore, we are looking forward to have another August review for the end of the year. So with this, I will hand back to the distinguished Toastmaster Kalidas. Thank you.
Thank you, Carsten. Are there any questions for Carsten? If you do, please type your club name and question or comment in the chat and wait to be recognized. Seeing none, the mid-year audit report will now be filed in accordance with the Toastmasters International retention policies. We will now move on to new business. During new business, we will need to use the ballots that were mailed to all district council members who registered by 6 p.m. last night. These emails came from District 4 Toastmasters via election buddy, titled with the name of the item we were voting on, followed by vote when instructions. If you do not have these ballots, please send an email right now to parli@d4tm.org. That is PARLI@d4tm.org. The first item of new business is to ratify those district officers that have been appointed since the last district council meeting of September 16th, 2020 to replace officers who had to step down. You can see the list on page number 10 of your handout. And I'll also read it out now. Tashaki Ford was appointed as Area A2 Director in November 2020. Vashtai Hayes was appointed as Area C1 Director in January 2021. Laura Hines was appointed as Area C3 Director in January 2021. The chair will now entertain a motion to ratify the appointment of these officers. The chair recognizes Paul Wallace, VP Education of San Carlos Toastmasters.
Thank you very much, Mr. District Director. I move to ratify the district officers that have been appointed since the last district council meeting of September 16, 2020.
Thank you, Paul. Is there a second?
Second.
Could you please recognize yourself? Identify yourself.
Katrina Myers, VPE, Guidewire Premium Presenters, and Point of Order. I second.
Thank you, Katrina. Katrina Myers seconds the motion. It has been moved and seconded to ratify the district officers appointed since the last district council meeting on September 16, 2020. Is there any discussion? Please type your club name and question or comment in the chat and wait to be recognized. Seeing no further discussion, we will now vote on the pending motion to ratify the district officers appointed since the last district council meeting on September 16, 2020. Next slide, please. Thank you. For this vote, we will use the yes/no feature in Zoom. If you're not a voting member, your name should be marked with an asterisk if you're not a voting member. Please refrain from voting in this issue if you're not a voting member, as your vote will not be counted. Voting members, please follow the instructions on the screen. At the bottom of your Zoom screen, click the reactions icon. You will see green check mark for yes and red X for no. All in favor, please click the green check mark, yes button now. All opposed, please click the red X or no button now. Please note that anyone who is a voting member and who is a co-host or host may not be able to use it. So you may have to use the chat to set your yes or no to the host. And Aubrey, if you could please have a look at the numbers we are polling and let me know, I would appreciate that.
I am currently seeing 45 yeses, 47, 48, 49. I'm not seeing any no's at this time. I'm now seeing over 50 yeses. I am seeing no objections.
Thank you, Aubrey. As Aubrey confirmed, the ayes have it, and the recently appointed officers are ratified. The next order of new business is District 4 alignment for 2021-22. Before we start, I want to state that this is a tedious process and the countless hours of work have been devoted by the committee to put together this alignment. We are sincerely grateful for the committee's work. The results were presented and accepted by the District Executive Committee on March 6th. The proposed alignment was then published on the District 4 website for our members to review. As the alignment is presented, please note that the alignment does not affect your day-to-day operation of your club. Instead, it is focused on assuring more balanced areas and divisions. There are some proposed amendments to the alignment that was presented to the District Executive Committee. You were emailed the proposed amendment alignment along with the meeting packet last night. The amendments were made due to the new information such as a new club, the suspension of certain clubs, and the need to rebalance some of the areas to account for some clubs which have not renewed after the April 30th deadline. As a district director, I respectfully ask that unless there is an egregious condition, we stay with the alignment and amendments printed in our handouts. The chair now recognizes Alignment Committee Chair, Distinguished Toastmaster, Andy Jimenez, to present the alignment.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. So alignment is all about keeping our Toastmasters neighborhoods healthy and functional. And every year, District 4 rebalances these clubs into areas and divisions to accommodate changes due to clubs that close, new clubs that charter, and clubs that can move locations. And now this process is called alignment. So go ahead and if you'd like to refer to page 11 in the packet for an overview of that realignment process. So I was assisted with this alignment committee. I was assisted in the process by these fellow committee members, all distinguished Toastmasters, past division director Katrina Myers, past district directors Catherine Pratt and Aubrey Carrier, and past district governor Tony De Leon. To create the alignment, we considered the following criteria. Guidelines from Toastmasters International Protocol 7.0, the geographical locations of all the clubs, and then balance of the aspiring clubs that are working to add members. And then you have your strong clubs that currently have higher membership levels. The workload that's gonna come up for the area director, we wanna keep that balance. And then last but not least, minimizing the disruption to existing area and division directors. Okay, so I see the map slide. Thank you so much. So based on that criteria I just shared, the alignment team proposes that we, quote unquote, rename these divisions to the following. So if you were to look at the first map on the leftmost map, right now that is Division F. We propose that we rename that to Division B. So you see that's Southern San Mateo County. And then you move to the second map, we have our sort of focused on Division B, which will then be renamed to Division C. That's representative Northern San Mateo County. And then lastly, Division F, that's going to be the new name, Division F. That was formerly Division C. So you see that's going to be in the city of San Francisco, south of Market and Mission Bay. So the realignment and relevant amendments were presented for about the district council meeting May 15th in March, as Kalias alluded to. And then after that point, some required amendments were made to the alignment to account for the addition of one new club and removal of suspended clubs. The committee recommends that you accept the district alignment for 2021, 2022 as presented and amended. And I'll hand it back to our chair, Kalidas.
Thank you, Auntie. It has been moved that we accept the District 4 alignment for 2021-2022 as amended. Because this was moved by committee, it does not need a second. The amended alignment was emailed to you last night and is posted on d4tm.org. In prior years, we made motions and voted on each separate division on its own before voting on the alignment as a whole. In order to expedite this process for today's virtual meeting and to save district funds by not sending out 6 different ballots for each of the divisions, we are going to discuss and vote on the alignment as a whole. Are there any questions or discussion? Please type your club name and questions or comment in the chat and wait to be recognized. A reminder that the discussion is limited to a total of 10 minutes and each voting member has a maximum of 1 minute to speak. Our timer, Laura Hines, will display the green signal at 30 seconds. Please make sure you have the timer screen on your screen. Yellow at 45 seconds and red at 1 minute for each speaker. Thank you, Laura. The speaker will be muted after the red signal appears. Watch thy eyes. Please time 10 minutes starting after I recognize the first speaker and indicate in the chat when the 10 minutes allotted for the whole discussion has elapsed. If you have any questions or comments, please type it in the chat window with the club name that you represent. Hearing no comments or discussion, we will now vote. The motion on the floor is to accept the amended District 4 alignment for 2021-2022. Before I go ahead, I want to confirm with our credentials chair, Naomi, that all the technical settings that we need to have this is in place. Naomi, could you please confirm that?
All the emails have gone out, and we are working on a couple of members who have reported not getting them. If you're listening and you're one of them, please check your spam folder and make sure that and if you have any questions about which email you register with, please private chat me. Thank you.
Okay, so Naomi, do I have you go ahead to proceed with the rest of the voting?
Yes, we will work with those couple of members who have told us that they haven't found their ballots yet, but we can proceed while we work with them. We won't close the vote until we know that we have helped these members, but we can proceed with the vote.
Thank you, Naomi. Appreciate that. For this vote, we will use our voting platform, Election Buddy. Please access your email from District 4 Toastmasters via Election Buddy, titled District 4 Toastmasters, Approval of District Alignment for 2021-2022. Vote when instructed. I'll repeat the subject line again. This came from Election Buddy. This came from District 4 Toastmasters via Election Buddy, and the title is District 4 Toastmasters, Approval of District Alignment for 2021-2022. Vote when instructed. Only district council members who pre-registered by 6 p.m. yesterday have these emails. Click the link that you received in the email to the election buddy ballot and cast your vote. Please vote now. If you cannot find your ballot, please check your spam and promotions folders and any alternate email addresses that you might have used. If you still cannot find it, please contact the credentials team right away at parli@d4tm.org. You could find this information in the chat window as well. We will now pause for 5 minutes, letting our voting members vote. Thank you for your patience.
Just vote yes.
Hello, everyone. The ballots are still coming in, and the credentials team is working on it with our observer from Toastmasters International, Pat Johnson. So please bear with us till the credentials team come back with the results. Thank you. Credentials Chair Naomi, could you please confirm if we are ready to move to the next slide and the rest of the meeting. Naomi, could you please confirm if the poll is closed?
No, Noemi is still in the breakout room. I don't think she could hear you.
Okay, I'll briefly jump into the breakout room and confirm with her. Thank you, Mike. Jacob, could you please reload the slide and start from slide number 27? Thank you, Jacob. I apologize for the long delay that we had because of some technical glitches, which were unexpected, but part of the game when we are using technology. I now have the results for the vote on district alignment. The results of the election to approve the district alignment for 2021-2022 are as follows. Total number of votes cast, 107. Majority required based on votes cast, 54. Votes cast in favor, 103. Votes cast in opposition, 4. The ayes have it, and the District 4 club alignment for 2021-2022 is approved. Our next order of business is the election of District 4 top of 4 officers for 2021-2022. Please welcome District Leadership Committee Chair, immediate past District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Kitsi Aviles for her report, which can be viewed at d4tm.org/business. Kitsi.
Thank you, Kalidas. Next slide, please, Mike. First, I want to start by thanking the committee, the District Leadership Committee that worked tirelessly for hours over the months of February and March to review applications, interview candidates, and make nominations. Michelle Mills, past area director, and also the Candidate Showcase co-chair, Victor Braun, past area director, Katrina Myers, past division director, Shanta Mohan, past administration manager, Stephen Chin, past public relations manager, and Noemi Gonzalez, past district director. Each of these members represented a different division in our district and were chosen for their impartiality and different backgrounds in district leadership. After very thoughtful deliberation, they nominated the following candidates. Next slide, please. For district director, Tim Carlisle and Mayor Repetto. For Program Quality Director, Jennifer Perry-Ruzick. For Club Growth Director, Toshaki Ford, Mark Prince, and Rizwana Rahman. For Public Relations Manager, Greg Athis. And for Division Director candidates, Division A, Vidya Kagan. Division B, Janet Sotheby. Division C, Alan Zong. Division D, Lily Zhang Shan. Division E, Sindhuja Godavarti. And Division F, Gretchen Tomitz. Please note that since this report was filed, 2 candidates have withdrawn their nominations, Rizwana Rahman for Club Growth Director and Sindhuja Godavarti for Division E Director. This is my report. Back to you, Kalidas.
Thank you, Kitsi. Per Toastmasters guidelines, nominations from the floor are not allowed during the meeting this year. Eligible floor candidates had to declare their intent to run in writing to the District Leadership Committee Chair at least 1 week prior to this meeting. Candidates who wish to run for a different role, if they should not win their first election, must have already indicated their intent to run. All further nominations are closed at this time. At least 1 candidate has been nominated for each position. For any contested elections, we will vote using the secret ballots sent to you via election buddy. An additional voting ballot may be sent to you during this process. While votes are counted, candidates may have an observer present in the breakout room during the ballot counting. For any uncontested elections, we can save time and district funds by dispensing with the secret ballot and instructing our administrative manager, Jing Thompson, to cast a single ballot for that candidate. Without objection, the chair will dispense with the secret ballot and instruct the administrative manager to cast a single ballot for any candidate for an uncontested office. Are there any questions or discussion before we get on with the district top 4 elections? If you have any questions, please type your club name and question in the comment in the chat window and wait to be recognized. Seeing none, we will dispense with the secret ballot and the administration manager, Jing Thompson, will cast a single ballot for all uncontested elections. We will now begin with the elections. Let's have the next slide, please. Thank you. And then next one, please. Jacob, thank you. We will start with the district director election. Nominated by the District Leadership Committee for District 4 Director in alphabetical order by last name are Distinguished Toastmaster Tim Carlisle and Distinguished Toastmaster Mayor Repetto. Each candidate will have a total of 2 minutes to address the assembly, and there is no grace period. The timer will time the 2-minute speeches as follows. Please find the timer, Laura Hines, on your Zoom screen and pin her so that you can follow the time. Laura, please show timer's video to demonstrate each timing signal as I describe it. Green at 1 minute, yellow at 1.5 minutes, red at 2 minutes. Please note that there is no grace period. When the 2 minutes have expired, the tech chair, Vasti Hais, will mute speaker. Candidates will be called to deliver the speeches in alphabetical order by last name. To get it started, please join me welcome the first candidate for District 4 Director role, Distinguished Toastmaster, Tim Carlisle.
Good morning, District 4. I think it's important that we know who our leaders are, why they're moving forward, how Toastmasters has impacted them. You've heard of the abuses in scouting. I was one of the victims of those abuses. Thanks to Toastmasters, I transformed from victim to survivor. That's the power of Toastmasters. Like I was empowered by Toastmasters, I wish for you to be empowered as well. That's why I'm running for District Director. My focus is on your Toastmasters journey. My experience will help our leadership team have you have the best membership experience possible. In other words, you'll have peace of mind and opportunities to learn and grow. You and I both know experience matters. I've served as Program Quality Director and Club Growth Director during the pandemic, which helped me gain extra wisdom, mettle, and resilience. That firsthand experience will help our Club Growth and Program Quality Directors go into their roles. I have never quit anything in my life, no matter how tough. Those of you who know me know my word is my bond. And my word to you today is I will lead you into a better, brighter future. I care deeply for District 4 and because of its impact on my life. I'd be honored to pay that forward for help you achieve your goals. I will be there for every one of you each and every day as District Director. I ask for your vote today. Vote Tim Carlisle for District Director.
Thank you, Tim. Could you please switch off your video, Tim? Thank you. Appreciate that. Now, to introduce the second candidate for District 4 District Director, please join me, welcome Distinguished Toastmaster, Matt Repeto.
Thank you, Kalidas, and welcome everyone. Both of my parents came from modest backgrounds. They courageously uprooted their young family and came to a new country for a better life. And through them, they elevated the rest of their family, helping many brothers, sisters, nieces, and nephews go to college, and within one generation, elevated and birthed lawyers, doctors, nurses, and other professionals, including their own children. I know firsthand how one courageous act can change the destiny of one person and those around them. Courage is the foundation of my leadership style. I have the courage to do the right thing, even if it makes it more difficult for me. And I have the courage to speak out when I see an injustice, and I have the courage to stand true to my values. And when I make a mistake, I have the courage to admit it and stand up and try again. I have compassion for myself so that I can have compassion for you. Brave thinking is the first step in changing the world. Brave thinking comes bold action, like running for District Director, because I want to strengthen our culture and emphasize the growth opportunities available in serving in district leadership. Great leaders are born through leading, not reading. We need to encourage our members to serve outside their club. We have to make serving as an area director, division director, and the other top 8 an honor and something worthy to aspire to, always with the understanding on failing forward faster so that we can grow and achieve more. Together, we rise. The foundation of respect, integrity, service, and excellence is how we strengthen our culture. I ask you to lock arms with me, and with your vote, we will rise together. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Could you please switch off your video now? Thank you, Matt. We have heard from both the candidates for District 4 Director role. Now we will move on with the votes. For this election, we will use our voting platform, Election Buddy. Please access your email from District 4 Toastmasters via Election Buddy, titled District 4 Toastmasters District Director Election 2021-2022. Vote when instructed. The subject line again of the email is District 4 Toastmasters District Director Election 2021-2022. Vote when instructed. Only district council members who pre-registered by 6 p.m. yesterday have these emails. Please click on the Election Buddy link to cast your vote. Please vote now. If you cannot find your ballot,
Awesome.
please check your spam and promotions folders and alternate email addresses. If you still cannot find it, please contact the credentials team right away at parli@d4tm.org. The email ID again is parli@d4tm.org. We will now pause for 5 minutes or a bit more till we complete the ballot, letting our voting members vote. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience, everyone. The credentials team is working with the observers to count the ballots. Please bear with us for the delay. Naomi, could you please confirm if we are ready to move and announce the results?
Yes, Kalidas, we are ready to move and the results are ready.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Naomi. Appreciate that. Jacob, if you could please reload and start with slide number 33. Thank you, Jacob. District 4, we have the elections for the election results for the elections for the District 4 director. As you could see on the screen, the total number of votes cast were 114. The majority vote based on the number of votes cast required 58. There were 87 votes for Tim Carlisle. There were 27 votes for Mayor Repeto. Next slide, please. The District 4 Director for 2021-22 is Tim Carlisle. Tim, could you please switch on your video? Congratulations, Tim.
Thank you.
District 4, here we have Tim Carlisle, Distinguished Toastmaster, the District 4 Director-elect. Thank you, Tim. We will now move on to the next election, nominated by the District Leadership Committee for Program Quality Director is Distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer Perry-Ruzek. Jennifer, you can briefly switch on your video, please. Thank you, Jennifer. District 4, here we have Jennifer Perry-Ruzek, the candidate District Leadership Committee nominated candidate for Program Quality Director for the year 2021-22. District Administration Manager, Jing Thompson. Please cast a single elective vote for Jennifer Perry-Ruzek for Program Quality Director. District 4, your 2021-2022 Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Jennifer Perry-Ruzek. Congratulations, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next election is for Club Growth Director, 2021-2022. Nominated by the District Leadership Committee for Club Growth Director in alphabetical order by last name are Distinguished Toastmaster, Tashaki Ford, and Advanced Leader Bronze, Innovative Planning Level 5, Mark Prince. Again, each candidate will have a total of 2 minutes to address the assembly with no grace period. The timers will time the 2-minute speeches as follows. Timer, Laura Hines, please show timer's video to demonstrate each timing signal as I describe it. Green at 1 minute, yellow at 1.5 minutes, red at 2 minutes. When the 2 minutes have expired, timer Vashti Hayes will mute the speaker. Candidates will be called to deliver their speeches in alphabetical order by last name. Please join me welcome the first candidate for Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Tashaki Ford. Tashaki.
Confidence. It's the one gift I value most from Toastmasters. From being that shy girl that was told, You need Toastmasters to be able to speak in front of thousands and lead teams globally. It's no surprise that I've been a club officer 39 times, President's Distinguished Area and Division Director, and have started 2 Toastmasters Club. Now more than ever, we need Toastmasters. We need people who can speak effectively, speak confidently, and lead. And it is my vision as Club Growth Director to be able to work with clubs who are struggling, to help them spread their brand in the community, work with clubs and keep clubs that are engaged and thriving and give them new tools to keep them going. And also to spread Toastmasters to places where we're not present, in communities, universities, corporations, and even our government. And in order to do that, we need a club growth director and a robust team that can engage at a macro level, whether it's social media like Facebook and TikTok and other forms of communication, to a micro level in the clubs, offices, even coffee shops. As club growth director, I want to be able to do these things. And if you share that vision, that Toastmasters is part of the solution to helping to develop people to grow themselves as leaders and effective communicators, then I, Tasha Key Ford, would be more than happy to be your club growth director.
Thank you, Tasha. District 4, please join me welcome our second candidate for the Club Growth Director's role, Advanced Leader Plans, Innovative Planning Level 5, Mark Prince. Mark?
Who here is uncertain about Thursday's CDC announcement about not wearing masks indoors? Will we come back to a fully in-person society, or will we continue to have more online and fewer in-person interactions? Good morning, fellow District 4 Council members. Let me get straight to the point. COVID has been hard on California. COVID has been hard on the Bay Area and on D4. California's population has decreased for the first time in 100 years. Club memberships are down across the district. Even President's Distinguished Clubs from last year are having membership challenges this year. Cornerstone Bay Area companies like Google and Facebook have moved to more remote workforces. But do you know what hasn't changed? The need for in-person interactions and material connections with your communities and your coworkers. Do you know what else hasn't changed? That the big Toastmasters 3 disciplines, prepared public speeches, evaluations, and impromptu speaking help us to be more impactful, whether we're in person or online. Each of our clubs has a special sauce that distinguishes it from other clubs. If you join me in the club growth journey, we will build a team and a process together to help clubs highlight that special sauce, whichever way, in person or online, that Toastmasters continues. And we will show companies and communities how Toastmasters helps to build connection, communication, and leadership skills. We can do this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. District 4, there we have both the candidates and their speeches. Now it's time for us to move on with the election. For this election, we'll use our voting platform, Election Buddy. Please access your email from District 4 Toastmasters via Election Buddy, titled District 4 Toastmasters Club Growth Director Election 2021-2022. Vote when instructed. The subject line of that mail again is District 4 Toastmasters Club Growth Director Election 2021-2022. Vote when instructed. Only district council members who registered by 6 p.m. yesterday have these emails. Click the link on the election buddy ballot and cast your vote. Please vote now. As you did earlier, we will pause for about 5 to 6 minutes, letting our voting members vote. Now, if you need a restroom break, it has been a long meeting so far. If you need a restroom break, please make sure you vote before you take that break, right? So thank you for your patience. Please vote now. Credential Chair Naomi, could you please confirm that we have the results?
Yes, confirming that we have results, Kalidas. Thank you.
Thank you, Naomi. Jacob, if you could please reload the slides from slide number 40. Thank you. Jacob, yeah, you can see the slide now. District 4, we have the results for the election for the role of Club Growth Director for the year 2021-22. The total number of votes cast, 109. The majority based on the number of votes cast, 55. There were 49 votes for the Shaki Ford. There were 60 votes for Mark Prince. Next slide, please. The one before, yeah, thank you. District 4, there we have it. Mark, could you please switch on your video? Your 2021-22 Club Growth Director, Mark Prince. Congratulations, Mark. Mark, you're muted.
I am. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Tasha. I'm going to need a lot of help. And if you're willing to help, I'm grateful for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. The next election is for Public Relations Manager. Nominated by District Leadership Committee for Public Relations Manager as effective coaching, level 5, Greg Athos. Are there any further recommendations for office? Please type your name and club number into the chat and wait to be recognized. Chair recognizes Anna Marie Bonaco. Anna?
Fellow Toastmasters of District 4, good morning. Our organization.
No, Anna, we haven't got to the point where we do the speeches, right? So
no, I'm not giving the speech. I'm just saying good morning. I, Anna Marie Buonacore, President of Peninsula Toastmasters Club 2697, nominates myself for the office of Public Relations Manager.
Thank you. Just want to make sure that we follow the script.
I wasn't.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. I just was confirming that. Yeah. Thank you, Anna. Anna Marie Bonaco has now been entered into the nomination for the role of Public Relations Manager. As we did before, candidates will be called to deliver their speeches in alphabetical order by last name. Each candidate will have a total of 2 minutes to address the assembly with no grace period. The timers will time the 2-minute speeches as follows. Laura Hines, please show timer's video to demonstrate each timing signal as I describe it. Green at 1 minute, yellow at 1.5 minutes, red at 2 minutes. When the 2 minutes have expired, timer Vashta Hayes will mute the speaker. Candidates, please make sure you have pinned the timer Laura Hines' video on your screen so that you can follow the signals. Now moving on to the candidate speeches. Please join me in welcoming the first candidate for PR Manager, Effective Coaching Level 5, Greg Athos.
Thank you, Mr. District Director and fellow Toastmasters. Good morning. I joined Toastmasters 5 years ago, and ever since then, it has been a journey of learning and readjustments and failing forwards. I have also been an area director and a division director. If I become the PR manager, my lot in that role will be to learn and to lead at the same time. I will make every effort to pay attention to the concerns of others. My leadership style is that I like to look at what's been done in the past. For example, there are 3 district public relations awards. The Golden Quill Award is for the best newsletter in the district. The Platinum Presence Award is for the best internet communications, especially social media. And the Diamond Director Award is for the best video infomercial. And in 2020, they were quite impressive. I would recommend that everybody go take a look at it. I asked 2 questions in terms of public relations. What does Toastmasters look like from the outside to non-members? And then also, what does it look like to existing members? I would like to build a team of vice president public relations in the clubs. However, all are welcome to help out. This is a district effort, and I will also reach out to the rest of the district team. And I have 3 more questions. How can we innovate while staying in bounds of the bylaws? And how relevant do non-members believe Toastmasters is? And how do you want our district to look to non-members? Back to you, Mr. District Director.
Thank you, Greg. Greg, could you please switch off the video? Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. Now, please join me in welcoming the second candidate for the role of PR manager. Advanced Leader Bronze, Advanced Communicator Bronze, Anna Marie Bonacore.
Fellow Toastmasters of District 4, good morning. Our organization is only as effective as our ability to reach new people. How do we grow our clubs and local areas? With effective public relations, of course. As a publisher, I engage in public relations and digital media almost every day. I come from a family business and have watched public relations and marketing evolve and grow overnight. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been in Toastmasters for 5 years and have served as a club president and as an area director. Before that, I served as a sergeant at arms and a secretary and have been in several different clubs. While I had to take a break 3 years ago for some personal reasons that were work related and which I learned from very much, this organization has helped me grow both personally and professionally. I would like to be able to give back this year as your public relations manager. In collaboration with others on my team, I have developed a plan that includes press releases to my media contacts, social media, digital newsletters, email blasts, and videography. I have kept up with the evolving technologies and look forward to implementing that in my role. I am passionate about the mission and vision of District 4 Toastmasters, and I see this year as a bright one ahead of us. I look forward to applying my skills to this great organization and reaching our public relations, marketing, and advertising goals in 2021 and 2022. I hope you will join me on this journey to reaching new great people and growing our district. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Anna. Anna, you could switch off the video now. Thank you. Appreciate that. Now that we have heard from both the candidates for the role of PR manager, it's time for us to cast our ballots. Please access your email from District 4 Toastmasters via election body titled District 4 Toastmasters Public Relations Manager Election 2021-2022. Vote when instructed. Subject line again of that email is District 4 Toastmasters Public Relations Manager Election 2021-2022. Vote when instructed. Click the link to the election buddy ballot and cast your vote. Please vote now. We will pause for about 5 to 6 minutes as we did earlier while our voting members vote. Again, if you intend to take a restroom break, please cast your vote before doing it. Thank you for voting and thank you for your patience. Credentials Chair, Naomi, will you please confirm if you are ready to move?
Yes, Khalida, we are confirming that we have the results of the Public Relations Manager's election.
Thank you, Naomi.
Thank you.
Jacob, if you could please reload the slides from slide number 44. Thank you. There we have the election results for the role of Public Relations Manager. The total number of votes cast, 107. The majority based on the number of votes cast, 54. There were 38 votes cast for Greg Athos. There are 69 votes for Anna Marie Bonaco. Next slide, please. Thank you, Jacob. There we have it. The Public Relations Manager for District 4 for the year 2021-2022, Anna Marie Bonaco. Congratulations, Anna Marie.
Thank you. And I look forward to working with all of you. And Greg, I would like to extend the offer to please help with this position. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna Marie. You could switch off the video now. Thank you. Now, the next item in our meeting agenda is the election of division directors. The District Leadership Committee has nominated the following division directors for the year 2021-2022. For Division A, Motivational Strategies Level 3, Vidya Kagan. For Division B, Advanced Leader Bronze, Advanced Communicator Bronze, Janet Sadabi. For Division C, Engaging Humor Level 2, Presentation Mastery Level 5, Ellen Zong. For Division D, Presentation Mastery Level 5, Lily Zhang. For Division E, the slot is still open because the candidate who had been nominated decided to withdraw. For Division F, Presentation Mastery Level 3, Gretchen Thomas. Fellow Toastmasters, we have only one candidate nominated for each division director position. District Administration Manager, Jing Thompson, please cast a single ballot for the candidates in these uncontested division director elections. Now, if the candidates could please switch on their cameras, and I'll read through the names again. For Division A, the division director for the year 2021-2022 is Motivational Strategies Level 3, Vidya Kagan. Vidya? Congratulations, Vidya. For Division B, Advanced Leader Bronze, Advanced Communicator Bronze, Janet Sadabi. Janet? Congratulations, Janet. For Division C, Engaging Humor Level 2, Presentation Mastery Level 5, Ellen Zong. Ellen? Congratulations, Ellen. For Division D, Presentation Mastery Level 5, Lily Zhang Chan. Lily? Looks like Lily has some, can't see Lily. Oh, yeah, I can see Lily. Congratulations, Lily. For Division F, Presentation Mastery, Level 3, Gretchen Thomas. Gretchen?
Good to be on the team.
Congratulations, Gretchen. District 4, here we have the division directors for the upcoming year, 2021-2022. Congratulations to all 2021-2022 elected officers. Thank you. Now, all of you could please switch off the videos. Thank you. Appreciate that. This concludes our new business, and we will now continue on with the district officer reports. The written reports are in your handout, and I encourage you to read them in detail after the meeting if you have not already done so. I will now invite our top officers to speak for 2 to 3 minutes each. After each report, any questions should be addressed through the chair. Please remember that in order to ask questions, you must be a member of the district council. If you have a question, please type your name, role, and question in the chat window, and please wait to be recognized by the chair. The chair recognizes District 4 Public Relations Manager, Distinguished Toastmaster, Joe Bressler. Joe?
All right, thank you. And if we could have our tech chair do a quick refresh on the slides and then restart, that would be really helpful, please. Okay, thank you for that. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Joe Bressler, the current district PR manager. Anna Marie, congratulations and welcome. We will definitely ensure a smooth handoff for you, and I look forward to working with you, with Greg, and with all the others across the district on PR efforts. Even next year, I'll be back in the background, supporting all of you and hoping that we can all have a great PR effort next year as well. Let's go to the first slide that would be after this one. Just to talk a little bit about where we've been and where we are headed in the last few weeks of our Toastmasters year. This year, we talked about the core efforts of raising awareness with members and reaching prospective members and further supporting the D4TM brand. A lot of things have been happening over the last year in PR. Of course, we've leveraged email campaigns, which have been primarily targeted to the district members. We've hit about a little bit over 2,000 members each time consistently each month with at least 1 to 2 emails. And that's helped us as a cornerstone of our efforts to really keep everybody up to speed on what's going on, what are the critical deadlines, what's coming up next around the district. That's a key channel for the district. This year, we tried something a little bit new, which was to support the brand and to reach beyond the members that we know. And we did some brand advertising as well. This is a way that we've been able to get the D4TM brand and Toastmasters brand in front of a lot of people, much further beyond where we would have reached if we just focused it on our current email base or our current PR base, or sorry, our current social media base. We've reached over 25,500 potential prospects, putting ads in front of them and potentially having them then click through. That's been through different channels from LinkedIn to Facebook to SFGate. We've also put a lot of effort this year into revitalizing our YouTube channel. I'm happy to report that we have about 330 subscribers new since last year, which is about a 70% increase, which is incredible due to the incredible work that we've had across the district for contributing content and really pointing people to that channel. We leveraged a press release. I would have liked to have done more in the area of PR from a perspective of press releases, but I also felt that it was probably the least targeted of all the media channels. Nonetheless, it did allow us to get even further beyond where we would normally reach with our emails and with our social channels. We reached about 700 media sites, and that includes sites like Al Jazeera and CNBC and MSNBC, Fox News, as well as local venues also. And that was primarily with talking about our Leadership Institute and other things that we had going on across the district. Traffic continues to be strong across the website. Happy to report that, and really pleased to have introduced a new design along with Ken Colley, who's been working tirelessly on the back end through the website. And then finally, leveraging social media. This year, we put a lot of extra effort in Facebook. We also introduced a new LinkedIn page and meetups as well. All three seem to be performing fairly strongly, especially in the face of the pandemic. Let's go to the next slide. All right. One of the things that's been a real critical item for me this year has been just about showing up consistently across the channels. Now, granted, there's probably still a lot more work that could be done, but nonetheless, I think that some of these things here are very visible to all of you across the membership. Things like the redesign of the website, brand new LinkedIn page. I want to encourage you all to go to that page and connect to it so we can make sure we keep people updated. Redesigning that district newsletter, putting out digital advertising, and also putting up a new banner on Facebook just to make sure that we had that content fresh. YouTube is, as I mentioned before, consistently producing channel for us. Let's go to the next slide. I wanted to mention here that I've just scheduled a session for this Thursday for us to then talk about PR lessons that we've learned across the district from the pandemic. I'd like to invite everybody here as well. Please take that information back to your club members, anybody who's interested in the PR efforts. This is a facilitated discussion, so I don't anticipate it to be a big presentation from me. In fact, I'm not going to put a big presentation together, but I'll dive a little bit deeper on these areas. And I'm looking for everybody who does join that session to turn their cameras on, turn their microphones on, ask questions, contribute to the conversation. With that, I will go to the last slide, which is to just
Vashtai, could you please unmute Joe so that he can complete his closing? Thank you.
Thank you so much. The last thing I had, thank you for that. The last thing I had is just simply to encourage everyone to connect, follow, like, and share so that we can get that word about District 4 Toastmasters out to the broader audience. With that, thank you so much. I'll turn it back over to you, Kalidas.
Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate all that you do for the district as a PR manager. It's a lot of heavy lifting. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Now, if you have any questions for Joe, please chat your questions into the chat window and wait to be recognized by the chair. Seeing none, we'll move on to the next district leader report. Can I have the next slide, please, Jacob? Next slide, please. The one which says Program Quality Director. Sorry, the Club Growth Director. Yeah, you're good. Thank you. Maybe there is a delay in my end. The chair recognizes District 4 Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Jennifer Perry-Ruzek. Jennifer Perry-Ruzek, the Club Growth Director, and the Program Quality Director-elect. Jennifer?
Thank you, Kalidas. Before we go to the numbers, I just want to say that this year has been a lot of ups and downs. When we started the year, we were excited because we thought that the pandemic would be over soon. In September, we would be starting to meet in person. It didn't happen. And then in December, we got shut down even more. As Pam already shared in our finance update, our member numbers have been tracking higher than what we were budgeted for, which is great news. So please remember that as I share the news about where we are with our targets for our DCP goals. Can I please have the next slide? Currently, we are down in clubs about 7%. I am still hopeful that we will be able to end the year even in club numbers. There are a few clubs that are getting really close to chartering, and there are a few that only need one more member to get back into good standing, which is to have 8 members. We are working with them, and things seem to be progressing, and I'm very optimistic that we will be back at our base number. Our payments are also down, which is okay because a lot of people moved out of the Bay Area. A lot of people also have joined us from other parts of the world. Meeting online has allowed our district to expand outside of our geographical region, and we now have members from pretty much every single continent on the world, which is a great thing. I mean, yes, not Antarctica, but we are still getting people from all over to join us. And I'm hoping that as we go back to in-person meetings, some clubs will continue to meet hybridly so that we can continue to welcome those members who have joined us from other places. Next slide, please. And this just shows the payments throughout the year. I updated it for what it was yesterday, so it's slightly different than what was shared in the business packet, just because the numbers are changing on a daily basis. Next slide, please. These are the clubs that we have currently in the works that I'm very hopeful that we can get chartered by the end of the year. They all are in the process of accepting applications, and they are all just a few applications away from getting there. If you have anyone who is interested in any of these clubs, please reach out to me. We would like to get them chartered as soon as possible. I know that the application process is a little difficult right now because you send the application and then they have to send it back to you filled out. And it would be nice if everybody just did it right away, but sometimes it takes a while. Things happen. We all have very busy lives outside of Toastmasters as well. Next slide, please. And good news, we have chartered 6 clubs this year so far, and hopefully we'll get a few more. So I would like to welcome all of our new clubs: Speak Merc South San Francisco, SRP Toastmasters, Contentful Toastmasters, Box Toasters, Win with IGT, and CCSF Toastmasters. Thank you all clubs for chartering, and welcome to our district. And I have to thank everybody on my team. It's been a struggle this year. We have heard a lot of stories about how lives have been affected by this pandemic, and I hope that the support, and by listening to them, they felt supported by their district. Thank you, and I'll return it back to you, Kalidas.
Thank you, Jennifer. Now that we have heard from our club group director, if any of the members, voting members of the district council, have any questions for Jennifer, please type your question into the chat window and wait to be recognized. If you're not a voting member of the council, and if you're here as an observer, please don't participate in the discussion. Thank you. Seeing no questions, we'll move on to the next district leader report. Jennifer, Jacob, yeah, thank you. Now, please let me welcome our Program Quality Director and District Director-elect, Tim Carlisle, to provide his report. Tim?
Thank you, Kalidas. Next slide, please. This year has been a journey. With the pandemic, we've had lots of challenges, but District 4 has risen to the challenge. If you look at the number of base clubs we have, as of today, we have 36 distinguished clubs. My notes on the side will require a bit of explanation. We have 27 clubs with 5 or more goals that need members. 9 of them need less than 3 members. 37 clubs, this is cumulatively, including the 27, with 4 or more goals. 33 need members, 12 need less than 3 members. 44 clubs in total, 3 or more goals, 38 need members, 13 need less than 3. I have spent a good deal of time reaching out to almost every single club on this list. I feel very strongly, and I've talked with the division councils, with area directors, that we have about 19 or 20 clubs that could make distinguished this year, in addition to the 36 that you see, which would put us over our goal of 51. Next slide, please. Club officer training. We maximize club officer training. We had over 73% trained each season, and you can see the 2 previous years. Online training was a huge hit for everyone. Hopefully we'll be able to keep that, because that's something where I think it really encouraged people to continue. This was for season 1. Next slide, please. Season 2 had almost exactly the same number. We broke records with Lucky 7 clubs and everything else. I'm really grateful to all of you that participated. Next slide, please. One other goal was to improve our pathways adoption. We have done that. It's not as high as I would have liked it to be. However, I think that some of the things that happened, such as having pathways for experienced members, as well as pathways training for new members held by the district, was very helpful in helping us move those numbers up. I'm still not satisfied and hope that we can work to continue this trend in the next year. And this was dated the last pathways adoption rate report that I had of 321. Next slide, please. Helping all clubs achieve excellence. We have increased our awards significantly, at least 17% from the time of last year's report. I believe a lot of that has to do with we published a lot of webinars. We also found ways to give credit for people working at TLIs and pathways training as club officer training as well. So we found new ways to utilize the pathways program to help our clubs achieve excellence. Because when you do that, that allows them to free up spots that could be used in club meetings for new people. Next slide, please. Incentives. Lucky 7-1, 71, 59 for Lucky 7-2, and you can read the rest. Our Pathways Chair, Catherine Pratt, Legacy, Aubrey Carrier. Our 6 division directors were helping with club officer training and hosting it, as well as our TLI chairs, Alan Zong, Anat Koren, and Jacob Alfaro. All did a fabulous job, and I'm very grateful to everyone else that participated on the team. Back to you, Kalidas.
Thank you, Tim. If you have any questions for our Program Quality Director, Tim Carlisle, and if you are a member of the District Council with voting rights, please put in your name, club name, and the question, and wait to be recognized. The chair recognizes Sri Kriti Valivela, President, Awesome Toastmasters. Sri Kriti, could you please switch on your video and ask a question?
Hello. Hi. Thank you, Kalidas. And hello, Tim. My question is about low attendance and low renewal clubs that are in our district. And what steps have you taken to address those? Because there may be some potential there. There may be some interest there that we have not tapped into, maybe because they don't have enough officers that are actively participating in renewing them. There might be something we can do about that.
Thank you, Kurti, for a great question. I would like, and I realize not everybody understands how we divide work up into top 4. Generally, when it comes to membership, a lot of that is part of the club growth director's role. However, Jennifer and I have worked very closely together on a lot of these issues. My experience with it is we have had several really good webinars for an open house webinar, which I think is really critical. I think the other thing that's critical is pathways. If you bring in new members and those new members are there getting value, that will help your low membership, as well as the fact that if you also simply just take a chance and work with people and help them find the value in your club, that is the best way to help go from a low member club to a charter strength club. Thank you.
Do we have any more questions for Tim?
I believe there was one from Arnold Pablo.
No, Tim, Ani is not part of the district council, and I need to recognize, as a chair, I need to recognize. So that's the reason. Ani, I'm not ignoring you. It's just that you're not part of the district council. And Tim, thank you for helping me answer that question. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
From the district council members who have voting rights, do we have any more questions for Tim? Oh, okay. The chair recognizes Sri Kriti Polivela, President, Awesome Toastmasters, because she seems to have a follow-up questions.
Thank you, Kalidas. Thank you for your answer, Tim. I'm sorry that I kind of confused the roles and asked you. Maybe the question was for Jennifer. So I have a suggestion that, maybe the clubs that are in a low standing, maybe can be the members who are still active and enthusiastic can be taken into other nearby clubs that are still healthy and functioning, or maybe they are short by 3 members to become distinguished. That's just an idea I had. I wanted to throw it out there. Thank you.
I understand your question, Kurti. Thank you for it. My perspective is that certainly you can do that, but I think that's a last resort. We have the ability to coach clubs. Coaching is a wonderful skill that many people have not experienced. And I can tell you there is no greater feeling than successfully taking a club who's small and under membership numbers and growing that club to 5+ their base, whatever that is, and also to hit 5 DCP goals. While the club growth director manages that area, I certainly think that we've put together a team to put different webinars or presentations or workshops in place. If you have concerns with that, please let me know or reach out to me and we'll bring somebody in to help you. Thank you. Back to you, Kalidas.
Thank you, Tim. I see a question from Greg Athas, Division D Director. Greg, could you please switch on your video and ask a question, please?
Yeah, thank you, Kalidas. Which is better, to rejuvenate low member clubs or to charter new clubs? What are we looking for, primarily?
Thank you, Greg. My answer to that is I think you need to do both. As a club coach, or having been one, I can tell you without question, you can't save a club unless that club wants to be saved. I mean, you can provide guidance, direction, help, hopefully a little diplomacy while you're doing that. But you need to work with that club. And sometimes that club needs to change. And change can be difficult. By the same token, it's always great to bring in new clubs. And when I talk about new clubs, I think new community clubs, new maybe special interest group clubs. And we have many bilingual clubs in our district. And we have other clubs that are more or less specialty clubs. So I think building new clubs and helping all clubs achieve excellence is our district mission. So we really need to do both. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Do we have any more questions from any of the district council members? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next part of the meeting. Let me briefly share my slides and we'll take it from there. Could someone please confirm that you can see my slides from my end?
I can confirm you see your slides.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. The year that we just went through has been a very challenging one, a very unique one, with a new set of perspectives and experiences. We had an uninvited guest in town, which actually changed everything that we know of. From a club environment where we enjoyed sitting across from each other, sharing laughs, sharing stories, we were pushed indoors. No hugs, no handshakes, no short coffee break huddles, no one-to-one chit chat. Everything changed. The definition of Toastmasters meetings changed in a big way. And life also changed for all of us in unimaginable ways. At a personal level, I personally know members and friends who lost someone in their family. I myself lost my first cousin, someone who I grew up with a couple of months ago. Many of our members had a shift of job or loss of job. Now, from a Toastmasters perspective, we lost some members from our clubs. We lost some clubs as a district. But we adapted, we survived, and we thrived. With the online set of meetings now, which we actually found challenging initially, we realized that we could visit any club meeting, any event, anywhere in the globe, club officer trainings, contests, events, anything. So the participation levels went up. That was a big plus for us. And kudos for all of us, Toastmasters, not just within District 4, but across the globe, who turned a challenge into an advantage, into an opportunity. We also learned new skill sets. If you take the last set of contests that you have seen anywhere, not just in District 4, anywhere for that matter, we saw the new skill sets in display. I saw people using the camera as if they were doing magic to interact with the other person on the other side of the screen. We learned new skills, handling new technologies online, whether it is Zoom, Microsoft Meetings, or anything. Technologies that we rarely used before, we are using it now, and it has become part of our lives. These are new skill sets which will last which will stay with us. With the vaccine easily available now and the hard work of all those medical professionals, some of them are part of District 4, district leadership as well. Because of all this, things are looking better. We have a light at the end of the tunnel. We are now in the home stretch of a marathon, which actually is of 12 months. As you know, the Toastmasters year goes from July 1st to June 30th of every year. We rely on our dashboards, look at the numbers to see where we are, whether it is membership goals, personal goals, and whatnot. But it's not about numbers alone. It's not just about the numbers alone. It's about the journey, the trips we made, the clubs we visited, the fellow journeymen we met, the stories we told, the stories we heard, the personal growth we had as a speaker, as a storyteller, as a leader, as a person, as an individual, the bonds we built, unbreakable bonds that we built with fellow members, the network we created, that of everlasting friendships, the ideas we shared and learned from each other, and the caring of our clubs, our community that we did together. This is all what Toastmasters is all about. Now, dear friends, this is time for us to plan for the transition in the next 46 days. Our stories, our experiences, what worked for us, what did not, what did we learn? On hindsight, what is it that we could have done differently? These are the things we hand over to the next set, which also comes with a set of task list, which actually starts with the submission of any milestones on Club Central. As we know, anything that we submit in Basecamp doesn't carry over to Club Central. Please make sure that we remind our club members and we do it ourselves. Submission of officer list, so that July 1st comes along, we have the officer list available for the new leadership team, Tim and his team, to follow up with and work with. Let's plan on getting all the experienced members who have been inactive of late. We need them to mentor the incoming members to make our club thrive and progress. And finally, the transition to the new officers. And when we do all this, please also remember that the next set of club officer trainings start in June. You could look at the district calendar for more information. Together, let's drive each other to excellence. Together, let's finish the year strong. I skipped this because I have already seen the red. Thank you. Let's finish the year strong. Thank you. Now, if any of you have any questions for me, please put your questions into the chat window and wait to be recognized. Seeing no questions in the chat window. The chair recognizes Kathy Skillicon, President, Pacifica PM Toastmasters. Kathy, could you please activate your or switch on your video and ask the question, please, so that all right. Kathy, if you're asking.
Hello. I can't unmute. I can't share a video.
Okay,
but
that's
I
fine.
wanted to know, there were some of the recap slides that you presented that I think would be useful for us in our clubs to share with our members. And I'm wondering if you could make some of those available.
The recap video, the recap slides you're referring to, are they specific to a specific area, club growth, program quality, PR, or the district? Is it something specific you're talking about, Kathy, or is it the whole thing?
Statistics, some of the statistics, and actually I screenshot them, so let me tell you. Just a moment.
So if you can look at it, if it is, after this, I'll put in the email IDs for our district leaders. You can reach out to them directly, and they'll be more than happy to share the slides and any information that you need.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, yeah, thank you. And Srikriti, what was the biggest learning you had this last 1 year? District leadership, as is the case with any leadership, is actually an experience you have to go through to realize the things you gain. So were there challenges? There were. Were there learnings? A great deal. So I cannot just summarize it in 1 minute. It's a lot. But as a leader, also learn that you actually have to adapt to the new reality, to the new situations. And sometimes things don't really work the way you planned it. So you have to accommodate, adjust, and move on. That's the biggest learning I had. Do we have any more questions? Seeing none. Jacob, could you please bring up the announcement slide, please? Now the one before. Yeah, thank you. Now, you heard from all the District 4 leaders and their reports, and we all got an opportunity to chat with each other. And let's keep the communication going and chat with each other more through email IDs, through email exchanges. So we will be putting in the email IDs for the specific district leaders in the chat window. Announcements. To start with the announcements, next slide, please. Yep. So the first set of announcements is from our District Leadership Committee Chair, Kitsi Evelis. Kitsi.
Thank you, Kalidas, and congratulations to our incoming district leaders for 2021-22. If you want to work with this team, you still have a chance. We have appointed positions that will be interviewed and appointed by our incoming district director, Tim Carlisle, for area director, finance manager, administration manager, logistics manager, or parliamentarian. If any of these roles interest you, or if you're not even sure which one interests you, feel free to reach out. Go to d4tm.org/nominate. There you can find details about each role, as well as how to apply. So there'll be some tabs and you can mouse over to see the other tabs. You'll see how to apply. There you can download the forms. And if you have questions, feel free to email me at d4leaders@d4tm.org. And I'd be happy to answer any of your questions or talk to you about which role is right for you. Hope to receive your applications soon. Thank you so much. Back to you, Kalidas.
Thank you, Kitsi. And Kitsi, could you please put in that email ID you mentioned about in the chat window? Thank you. Moving on to the next slide. Right, to all the announcements from the program quality area, program quality director and district director-elect, Tim Carlisle. Tim.
Thank you, Kalidas. I wanted to remind everyone that you have an opportunity to listen this afternoon to a Jeopardy champion. Entitled The 30 Years War, Dennis Chase, Distinguished Toastmaster, will tell us his journey of 30 years trying to get on Jeopardy. It did work, and he became a Jeopardy champion not too long ago. I'm sure that we'll learn quite a bit from Dennis. We put 2:45 on the slides. It actually starts promptly at 3 p.m. I hope that you'll join us. In addition, on May 29th, we have two events. One of those is district speech contests in the Hall of Fame. That goes from approximately 8:30 to 11:30. We'll have the best of the best evaluators and international speech contest winners competing for the right to go to the region for the international speech contestants. In either case, it is also about bragging rights, the people that have just really nailed their speeches. After that, we will have office hours with International President-elect Margaret Page. What this is designed to do is going to be a 2-hour window. We will be having a lottery. And so if you have a desire to attend that, you can either email me at quality@d4tm.org or reach out to Division Director Mark Prince and Club Growth Direct-elect Mark Prince. So feel free to reach out to me or to Mark, and we will be holding that lottery at a time that will be very soon. If you have any questions, like I said, give me a yell. Happy to talk to you about either. Back to you, Kalidas.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate that. I don't have a slide for myself, but I would like to announce that the date for the leadership luncheon, which is our annual district tradition, will be announced at the district contest on May 29th. The district leadership luncheon will feature club and district officer recognition, district officer installation, and roast of the outgoing district director, which is me. So if you're interested in roasting me, look out for that. Look out for the email that comes out. You could be one roasting me. Are there any further announcements to be made? Jacob, please keep the slides up, please. Jacob, could you please bring up the slide? Yeah, the next one, please. All right. Hearing no comments or announcements of the district council, in addition to what we heard so far, I'll move on to the next slide, which is to thank everyone who helped and worked together to put this business meeting together. I thank all of you for your attendance. In addition to, former slide, please, the previous slide, Jacob. I want to personally thank the tech chairs, Mike Fidel and Jacob Alfaro. As you see, an event of this magnitude takes a lot of folks, a lot of volunteers working in tandem, in concert in the background. Timers, area directors Laura Hines and Vashta Hayes. Credentials Committee Chair, past District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Naomi Gonzalez. Ballot counters, Ken Colley, who is a past International Director, past District Director Catherine Pratt, and Terry Joyce. District Parliamentarian Aubrey Carrier, who is a past District Director. Administration Manager Jing Thompson. Minutes Committee Chair, past Region Advisor Joe Madley. Audit Committee Chair Karsten Mansk. Alignment Committee Chair Andy Jimenez. I thank you all sincerely for all the help and coordination for putting this together. Next slide, please. I also want to send a note of thanks to our guests from Toastmasters International and the leadership from Toastmasters. I would start with the observers from Toastmasters International. Past International President Pat Johnson and past International Director Jim Coley. Also would like to thank our Region Advisor Jessica Allen and our International Director Karen Lucas. Thank you all. This concludes our business meeting for today. If there are no objections, the District 4 Council meeting stands adjourned.
And point of order, I believe Joe Madley has a very special announcement for the end.
Oh, I missed the chat. Who was it again?
Joe Madley.
Joe Madley. Okay, the chair recognizes past regional advisor Joe Madley. Joe.
Thank you, Kalidas. For all the incoming district officers, I would
Joe,
like...
Joe, we cannot see your video. Do you want to switch on your video, Joe?
I have unmuted myself.
No, the video, if you want to, I'll leave it to you. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, sure.
I am extending an invitation to all the incoming district officers to attend point of order. Since you will be running meetings and dealing with parliamentary procedure as you progress through the chairs, I think it's important for you to know how to run meetings and do all the things that we teach in point of order. My congratulations to Kalidas for running an excellent business meeting. One of the features of point of order is that we do a mock session in point of order for the district governor, or excuse me, district director to run the business meetings in the fall and in the spring. So the invitation is open. We meet the third Tuesday of each month from 7 to 9 p.m. Thank you, Kalidas.
Thank you, Joe. And I apologize for missing your message on the chat. And Aubrey,
Not a problem.
Thank you for reminding me that I missed it. I really appreciate it. This is teamwork at its best. Again, this concludes the business meeting for District 4. Thank you all for attending and wish you all a great and safe rest of the day and weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.